We got a lot of people. Let's get it rolling.
Yeah. Again, we'll find out. Good evening, everyone. It is my pleasure to call to order the regular city council meeting of the city of Hartsville for April 8th, 2025. Very excited to have you all here. I'm so excited to see so much public participation in government. I know that's why you're here. I just really appreciate it. It makes me so happy. But with that said, I will entertain. No, I'm sorry. First off, got to get used to the new software, you know. We'll start us off with the Councilwoman Mack lead us in the invocation. We'll follow that by the Pledge of Allegiance, and then the civility pledge. I would invite you to stand and pray in your faith as we pray in ours for the invocation.
Let us bow. Most holy and everlasting Father, thou art God and God alone. Father, we thank you for this beautiful day that you allowed us to assemble in these hallowed halls to do the business of the city of Hartsville that we all love so much. Lord, we thank you for all of our citizens that have participated and come out for this meeting. We thank you for our police, our firefighters. We thank you, Lord, for our staff that helps mayor and council get the job done, along with our city manager and his assistant city manager. Lord, we pray now that your holy presence will come into this meeting and let us do what is right and pleasing in your sight. Let us do what is right and fair, what is just and good, and let us all come together and let Hartsville grow forward and go forward together. These and all other blessings we ask in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ, and under his precious blood we do pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Ms. Mack. I'll kick off the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. For the civility pledge, you can please join us if you would. I pledge to build a stronger and more prosperous community by advocating for civil engagement, respecting others and their viewpoints, and finding solutions for the betterment of my city. Thank you all very much. Mayor Pro Tem Caldwell. I know, it's downtown's hopping tonight. Now I would entertain a motion to waive the reading of and approve the minutes of the April 8th, 2025. Is that date right? I think it's okay. As amended, a motion to waive the reading of and approve the minutes of the March 11th, 2025 regular city council meeting. So moved. I have a motion and second. Any discussion of the motion as amended? All those in favor of approving the motion as amended, please indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Motion passes. That brings us to our presentations. We'll start off with the recognition of Hartsville Fire Department Lieutenant, Mr. Seegers. Good to see you this evening, Chief. Anybody else from the fire department want to join us? Don't be shy. All right. Mr. Seegers. It is my distinct honor to present this proclamation to you in thanks for your many, many years of service to the city of Hartsville and her people. Whereas William Bill Seegers has a long history of public service since beginning his career in the fire service with the Hartsville Fire Department on January 2nd, 1985. Whereas for 40 years, Seegers has exemplified dedication and loyalty to the community, beginning as a firefighter and achieving the rank of lieutenant. And whereas Lieutenant Seegers has been instrumental in preserving, collecting, and sharing the history of the Hartsville Fire Department through working with the state's Firefighters Association to ensure the rich history of the department has been memorialized for all to enjoy. And whereas Lieutenant Seegers has used his skills and knowledge of building construction to provide firefighter education to improve the quality of protection provided by the department and improve safety for all of our firefighters. And whereas Lieutenant Seegers has provided leadership, professionalism, and respect within the community and the department. And whereas Lieutenant Seegers has received numerous awards and commendations, tonight he receives one more. the accolades and appreciation of myself and the council. Now finally, therefore, I, Casey Hancock, Mayor of the City of Hartsville, South Carolina, do hereby proudly proclaim today, April 8, 2025, as Lieutenant Bill Seegers Day, in honor of your long-standing service, devotion, and dedication to the City of Hartsville and its citizens during your 40 years of service as a member of the Hartsville Fire Department. I know it's I've got a hot mic here if you'd like to say anything, or if Chief, if you'd like to say anything.
Um, Thank you, Casey. This does mean a lot. It does. I've enjoyed my 40 years. Um, I've enjoyed the relationship with the firefighters. I've learned a lot from my fellow firefighters. I've also enjoyed watching the younger firefighters come along. Volunteerism obviously is changing. I do hope that the city will recognize how that's changing and adapt. I don't have the answers to how you adapt, but volunteerism is on the way out, unfortunately. I've enjoyed my 40 years immensely, and I do appreciate this recognition. Thank you.
You say you learned a lot from your fellow firefighters. I'm pretty sure they've learned a lot from you too, sir. We appreciate it.
It's been a good arrangement.
Yes. Next recognition of some of our police officers. Oh, I'm sorry. No, let's do our other special guest in the hallway, our surprise guest, the Cobra women's basketball team. If everybody could find their way in, Mike, have one. Good evening. Good evening. However we fit, we'll do the best we can. I have to make 2 rows.
Well, Shorty get in the back. Get in the front, when Shorty get in the front.
Well, it is my distinct pleasure to present this honor to all of you tonight for your achievements. I'm not going to read the whole thing, I'll spare you, but hit some highlights. Whereas the City of Hartsville is very proud to be home to Coker University. And whereas in addition to achieving excellence in education, the city and Coker University now celebrate being home to the historic Coker University Women's Basketball 2025 South Atlantic Conference regular season champions. And whereas the Cobras, through hard work and perseverance over 35 hard-fought games over the season and postseason, broke records and made history with the team's first ever appearance at the SAC Finals Basketball Championship Tournament. And in the first in program history NCAA tournament bid, won the NCAA Division II Southeast Region and reached the Elite Eight in the NCAA Division II National Championship Tournament. And whereas whereas the team was coached by head coach Melissa DeVore, named 2025 SAC Coach of the Year, and assistant coach Reggie Mosley, and whereas this great championship and historic season has brought a lot of pride and honor to Coker University and the city of Hartsville. Now, therefore, I, Casey Hancock, Mayor of the city of Hartsville in the state of South Carolina, do hereby proudly proclaim this month of April 2025, as I'm thinking okra tonight, Cobra Women's Basketball Month in the city of Hartsville in recognition and honor of this team, and encourage all citizens to join in celebrating the accomplishments of the team and their coaches. Everyone, thank you in a big round of applause. Join me in a big round of applause. Now, I am obligated to hold this with some of you for the photo op. I don't know who wants to volunteer to grab a corner. Can we, I'm being told by the camera team we need to scrunch up a little bit, maybe make 2 rows. Right. And whoever's in front, y'all hold this. I'll stand behind.
So at first block party, y'all gonna put our boots on the ground.
Thank you so much. This is a really special group, and they deserve this recognition. So thank you for taking today to honor this group, and also like looking around the room. You guys really made us feel special with the send off. Probably one of the highlights the kids were most excited about were what were we excited about? The fire trucks and the police escort out of town. But just super appreciative of today and just the support this season. And we hope to see you in Deloach next season as we return pretty much everyone on this team except for Mariah, who's been with us all 4 years, Maya, who's been with us all 4 years, and Diamond, who's been with us all 4 years. So they've really been a part of our growth. They really have been a part of our growth, but this whole team really deserves this moment. And thank you, everybody.
Congratulations, good job.
Ladies, before you go, before you go, our first concert on college is May 16th, so I want you all to come out so we can put our boots on the ground. May 16th.
I need a flyer to take with you.
I'll be looking for you. All right. Make sure you bring your fans. If you don't got fans, let me know so I can get some. May 2nd? Where? Oh, they leave early? Oh, my goodness. I'm going to have to come down there. Might have to come Thursday for my birthday.
Mayor, we appreciate you having us come down from Columbia. I came straight from the capital to Hartsville, and every time I come here to Hartsville, I feel like I'm missing out on something. I don't know what y'all have in the water here, but council, Chief Snellgrove, Mayor Hancock, and Daniel Moore, y'all have something special going on in Hartsville. You should be proud of it. You heard it here with the basketball team and the fire department and now the police officers. The reason I'm here is to recognize a heroic event that happened right here in the city of Hartsville this past year. Your police officers were out working patrol, and they took it upon themselves to listen to the fire channel because they care about Hartsville. Well, they overheard a fully engulfed structure fire, and these police officers went to the scene to try to save lives. They worked in conjunction with your fire department as a team to do their job. And when they got there, the house was fully engulfed. And I'm going to read the names of the officers as they come down. Corporal Justin Hayden, Corporal Brandon Norris, Sergeant Sean Peruzzi, and Sergeant Corporal Kevin Johnson. Come on down. When they got there, the house was fully engulfed. They didn't have fire equipment, but they went in the house anyway. And they figured out a way to save a life. They were there with fully engulfed fire. One officer made not one but 2 entries, and they were able to save a life that night. So with that act of bravery, and under Chief Snellgrove's leadership, the South Carolina Police Chiefs Association is recognizing them with a life-saving award today to let you know You have people that care about you in Hartsville. You have people in blue that are doing their job to protect your city. You should be very proud. I'm proud of them, and I'm proud of each and every one of you, the job that you do for Hartsville.
He said it a lot better than I could, but I just want to say again, thank you. Day in and day out, our police officers and firemen go above and beyond in the line of duty, and this is just a remarkable example of that. There's so many other examples that you don't get certificates in front of council for, but we want you to know that we appreciate every single time you go out to protect the city. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Okay, thanks. Oh, wait, we got 10 minutes.
Thank you all so much. We always pray for God's divine protection for our first responders. Fair housing. No, I just wanted to say, we always pray for our fire and police department that God will keep his divine protection around them. And this just proves that he does. So we thank God for that.
Thank you, Ms. Mack. Speaking of public safety, I have a proclamation for our firefighters now. Those of you who have been hiding, if you would mind coming forward. Y'all don't rush now. Come on. Don't fight with each other. You love it. All right. Again, in pursuit of expeditious reading, I'll abbreviate. The United States Congress and the President of the United States have designated the day of the annual National Fallen Firefighters Memorial Service as a day to honor firefighters and emergency services personnel who have sacrificed their lives to save others. And whereas firefighters and emergency services personnel play an essential role in the protection of lives and property in our local community, an average of 80 firefighters courageously makes the ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty every year. And whereas the National Fallen Firefighters Memorial Weekend marks the weekend of International Firefighters Day on May 4th of 2025, now therefore I, Casey Hancock, Mayor of the City of Hartsville and the State of South Carolina, do hereby proudly proclaim April 28th through May 4th, 2025 as Fallen Firefighter Memorial Days, and May 4th specifically of this year as Firefighters Day. In Hartsville and pursuant to the legislation signed into law by President George W. Bush in 2001, all flags are to be flown at half-staff in all city government buildings on May 4th and May 5th, and urge all citizens to remember the past firefighters who gave their lives serving our community, honor the retired fighters who dedicated their lives to protecting us all, and show support and appreciation to the firefighters who continue to protect us so well throughout the year. Gentlemen, I'm honored to present this to you. Thank you so much for everything you do. Again, day in and day out in the line of duty for your job. You keep us all safe, and we can't thank you enough. This piece of paper doesn't do it justice, but I want to offer it to you tonight.
When these gentlemen come to this now,
Sirs, would anybody like to speak? Or Haley? Thanks anyway.
Thank you all.
Do we have anyone for Congenital Diaphragmatic Hernia Awareness Day? How can I say diaphragmatic right now and I can't say
I don't know.
All right, we'll hold on to this one then.
Animal crackers in your soup.
Something. How about Child Abuse Prevention Month? Yes, of course. So for a little bit shift in tone, but no less important, I'll read the highlights of this proclamation as well. Now, whereas South Carolina's future prosperity and quality of life depend on the healthy development of more than 1.1 million children residing in the diverse communities across our state, including almost 14,000 in Darlington County. And whereas preventing childhood trauma, including abuse and neglect, must be a priority that requires everyone, to support the physical, emotional, social, and educational well-being of all children. And whereas statewide and community prevention programs serve as proven and effective ways to reduce child abuse and neglect, no matter the geographical region, race, or ethnicity, or economic status, and whereas communities must make every effort to promote programs and activities that build strong children and families. So whereas last fiscal year, there were 4,600 substantiated Child Protective Services investigation involving over 10,000 children in the state, 64 investigations involving 161 children in our county, in substantiated cases of abuse and neglect. Now, therefore, I, Casey Hancock, Mayor of the City of Hartsville, South Carolina, do hereby proclaim this month, April 25, as Child Abuse Prevention Month, and encourage all citizens to dedicate themselves to protecting the quality of life of every child. You do very difficult work. We can't thank you enough for what you do, but it's so important to protect what is often the least among us. So thank you so much for what you do, and I'd love to give you an opportunity to speak if you'd like.
Thank you. I'm Robin Griggs. I'm one of the directors of the Durant Children's Center, which is a part of the PD Coalition, which I'm here for that one too. I just wanted to take a minute. You'll see a lot of these pinwheels around. We used to have blue ribbons for child abuse, but they switched them to pinwheels because we want to not look at the negative part, but at the positive part of pinwheels being a child carefree kind of thing for children to grow and I do my best. I'm also a forensic interviewer of these kids that come in. Child abuse and neglect, and even later on talk about the sexual assault. It's not easy to talk about. People don't want to talk about it, but we're here to talk about it, and we would be glad to give tours, presentations, anything you would like, anything to try to work me out of a job. And I'm gonna leave these with the mayor,
Okay.
so he can do with this he would like.
I'll pass them out just a second. I'll do photos with this one first. And now, if that aspect of your job isn't challenging enough, I also have another proclamation for Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Whereas sexual assault affects adults and children in the PD not only as victim survivors, but also as family members, loved ones, friends, neighbors, or coworkers of the victim. And whereas sexual assault is one of the most devastating crimes in our society today, with victims often suffering lifelong pain for physical injury and serious emotional trauma. And whereas volunteers and service providers in our communities are dedicated to providing care to sexual assault survivors through 24-hour hotlines, counseling, support groups, advocacy, medical care, and education. Now, therefore, I, Casey Hancock, Mayor of the City of Hartsville, State of South Carolina, do hereby proclaim this month, April 25, also as Sexual Assault Awareness Month here in the city, and encourage all citizens to work together to prevent sexual assault and ensure a life free from harm for the residents of Hartsville. And one of the ways you can do that is to learn more about the Durant Center, about the PD Coalition, and the work that they do. If you have any other comment on this, I invite you to speak.
Just quickly, PD Coalition is our umbrella organization, and I don't know how some of our people work with these adults. It's hard enough to work with the kids, but it's devastating to deal with vulnerable adults as well, so my hat's off to them.
Thank you. I'll do a picture with both of you.
Thank you so much.
Everybody here for Fair Housing Month? Anybody from the city want to set that up?
Mayor.
Councilman Matt. Okay, great. Hey, you got to tell me when I'm standing in the middle and I'm over here, so. Lined up. Well, Councilman Mack, it's my honor to present this to you tonight. Again, I'll do the short version. Whereas every year, the Housing and Urban Development authority proclaims the month of April as Fair Housing Month to commemorate the anniversary of the passage of the Fair Housing Act in 1968, and whereas the state enacted the South Carolina Fair Housing Law in 1989, which guarantees the right of every person to live where they choose, regardless of their race, color, national origin, sex, religion, familial status, and disability. And whereas the city of Hartsville rejects discrimination on the basis of race, color, religion, sex, national origin, disability, or familial status in the sale, rental, or provision of other housing services. Whereas April is recognized nationally as Fair Housing Month because this is an ideal time to focus on fair housing issues in the community, examine local practices which may be limiting fair housing choice, and undertake meaningful actions. Now, therefore, I, Casey Mayor of the City of Hartsville, do hereby proclaim this month, April 25, as Fair Housing Month, and urge all citizens to recognize and participate in its observance. It's my honor to present this to you tonight.
Thank you.
And I do have a microphone. If you'd like to see.
Yes, housing is a very critical issue in the city of Hartsville, and I sit on the board for housing at South Park for the Housing and Urban Development Board. So it is very, very important, and that's what we're trying to do now. We're trying to grow more housing stock so more people will have decent places to live. So thank you so much, Mayor.
Thank you for your service to that body. We'll take pictures. All right, anyone from the airport here for aviation week?
Yeah, Brandon.
Councilman Braddock's the liaison to the committee. Thank you for joining me. I know you're excited about it. Whereas the Palmetto State is home to 6 commercial service airports, 54 general aviation airports, and 5 very busy military airfields that provide essential support to the state's diversified business base, increasing population, and growing tourism industry. And whereas airports support and assist South Carolina in many ways, including recreational flying, providing a gateway to communities and tourist attractions, accommodating agricultural springs, supporting air cargo and air freight shipments, helping law enforcement, supporting the military, providing access in times of emergency, which is something we have seen all too recently in this part of the country, and supporting medical needs in the medical profession. And whereas the Hartsville Regional Airport sees close to 24,000 flights every year, it's home to a busy flight school, and according to the 2018 State Airport Economic Impact Report, supports a $2.1 million economic benefit to our community every year. And whereas over 400 aerospace-related companies reside in the state, aviation is a multi-billion-dollar industry, along with commercial service airports, the general aviation airports, military fields. They all together support 122,000 jobs and contribute millions each year to the state and local governments. The nation's aviation infrastructure presents an important benefit to the public. Now, therefore, I, Casey Hancock, Mayor here at the City of Hartsville, do hereby proclaim the week of April 27th through May 3rd as General Aviation Week in the City of Hartsville, and encourage all of you to recognize general aviation for its significant contributions to our quality of life and economic growth and stability. With that said, thank you for the work that you do to support the airport. Also, for all of you, if you haven't ever been out to the Hartsville Regional Airport, I strongly encourage you to go because it is way cooler than it has any business being for the City of Hartsville. So take a look. And for now, I'll just pause. And would anybody like to speak about the airport? I'll spare you. We'll just take a photo.
I was gonna say, don't forget that,
Oh, yes, specifically the terminal at the airport. Senator Gerald Lloyd Terminal is one of the crown jewels of our facility. It's only been open for a couple of years. It's absolutely worth checking out. And while you're there, inquire about the flight school because they do some pretty cool work there. Thank you for the reminder. Last but not least, a very important one. This is to recognize and honor the valuable contributions that municipal clerks make to the cities and towns of South Carolina. Um, Ms. Skipper, would you want to join me? Would you want me to read the whole thing? Okay. Since it's your day, I'll follow your instructions or your week. Whereas the office of the professional municipal clerk is a time-honored and vital part of local government and exists throughout the world and is the oldest office among public servants. And whereas, regardless of city size, municipal clerks have seen their roles and responsibilities expand. Have you experienced that? With changing times, with advancements in software and hardware, municipal clerks have become increasingly adept and skilled at using technology to prepare materials for meeting agenda packets, to record meeting minutes, and to manage public records. And whereas clerks get their training from the South Carolina Municipal Finance Officers, Clerks, and Treasurers Association, an affiliate association of MHSC. Now, therefore, I, Casey Hancock, Mayor of the City of Hartsville and the State of South Carolina, do proudly proclaim the week of May 4th through the 10th of this year as 56th Professional Municipal Clerks Week, and recognize and honor the valuable contributions that our city clerk, Andrew DeVos Crenshaw, and Deputy City Clerk Sharon Skipper make to our city. We literally could not do this without you. So thank you so much for keeping us in line.
On behalf of Andrea and myself, we thank each and every one of you for allowing us the opportunity to serve you each and every day.
Thank you so much.
And Mr. Ron for still letting you be with us. That's what we thank Mr. Ron for still allowing you to be with us.
And I believe that we have one person signed up for public comment, okay? Well, Mr. Lusk, you're gonna wait until the hearing. Appreciate you being here anyway, but that brings us to Ms. Caraway. You have something to speak about? You know the rule, or the rigmarole, if you would come forward, microphone, state your name and address for the record, and keep your comments to 2 minutes or less, please.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Barbara Caraway. I am a resident of Hartsville, South Carolina. My address is 809 Butler Street. I'm here on behalf of Coker University Black alumni. They will have a program on Friday, April the 25th, 7 p.m. at the Elizabeth Boatwright Theater Performing Arts. It's called Dawning of the Kente Ceremony. This is all the seniors, African American students that will get their Kente ceremony call. So we're asking all the city council, city manager, I'm here with it, to attend, and she just gave you some flyers for that. And also, our first gospel in the park is Sunday, May the 5th, May 4th. And asking you to come out there as well too, and asking everyone to come out. But I'm here for Coker University.
Awesome, thank you very much. Appreciate you letting us know. There's something else going on that night. I'm gonna try to make both of them the best I can. I know y'all want your spinners. I forgot to hand them out.
So Mayor, do you know if they have placed them at parks yet?
Say again?
Do you know if they placed spinners at near the parks?
I don't think so. Let's follow up on it though.
Okay.
Hey, well, Mr. Manager, you ready? You've been elbows deep in the budget all day. You want to talk about some public business?
Sure. So we have a few events that are coming up. I want you guys to be aware of. First of all, Concerts on College is coming back. It was formerly the block parties. We wanted to make more of an impact, so we actually are doing 3 events this year, and then the final will be the heart of the holidays. But May 16th, as you already said, will be there. June 20th, and also August 15th. There's going to be flyers passed around if you guys want to get information about that. It'll be on our city website, Facebook, and then please come out. It's going to be a great night. Also, we have our Downtown Farmers Market starting on second Saturdays, April through October. 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Cargill, rain or shine. Please come out to enjoy us as well.
That's this weekend.
It's this weekend, that's right. Starting this weekend. And then finally, we're going to be doing another Great American Cleanup. Our staff coordinates with the local partners. Last time we had Butler Academy came out with their students. It was very exciting. April 24th from 10 to 12, we will be at Pride Park to start that off. And then we'll clean up around the area. And then I'm sure we'll have some snacks and fun things for that. We got some snacks, so. And then speaking of budget, we are planning on having our open to the public, of course, budget workshop later this month. We are neck deep in budget. We are working on finalizing that for you guys. As soon as we have the budget narrative complete, we'll get that to you. And we do plan on having a budget workshop again at the end of the month. It's going to be probably an all morning, potentially into the afternoon, but it is open. Please come, see how everything is done, and ask any questions you have. Council can have an opportunity to go through the budget and go from there. But Mr. Mayor, that's all I have.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you again to our departments for preparing the reports and the consent agenda. Appreciate you taking the time to do that. Now moving on to the meat of the agenda, item number 7, public hearing and final reading of ordinance 4488. Mr. Manager, if you would publish it by title and presentation for the record.
Yes, sir. Ordinance 4488, an ordinance to lease the property at 149 West Carolina Avenue to Darlington County Humane Society. Present this as an annual renewal of their retail therapy shop downtown.
Thank you very much. I'll now hereby open the public hearing for ordinance 4488. Is there anyone from the public that wants to speak on this? Hearing none. Now I'll close the public hearing. I would entertain a motion to approve the final reading of ordinance 4488.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion that we approve ordinance 4488.
Thank you. Have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on this one? Easy peasy. All those in favor of approving final reading of ordinance 4488, please indicate so by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Ordinance passes. Moving on to ordinance 4489. Mr. Manager, if you would.
Yes, sir. It's ordinance 4489, an ordinance to amend Hartsville City Code, Chapter 11, Historic Preservation, Section 11-21, Design Review Guidelines for Cities Historic District, Subsection A, City Historic District 1, Historic Properties by adding the addition of 118 West Carolina Avenue, tax map number 05606034040. To present this is One Church is applying for the ability to grandfather in some historic elements. It has been recommended by the ARB, and this will be the second reading.
Awesome. I like it. I'll now open the public hearing on ordinance 4489. If you'd like to speak on this ordinance, please come forward, state your name and address for the record. Keep your comments to 2 minutes or less. Nobody jumping up? The public hearing for this ordinance is now closed. I'll now entertain a motion to waive the full reading and approve the final reading of ordinance 4489.
Mr. Mayor, ordinance 4489 is so moved.
Second.
I have a motion in a couple seconds. Is there any discussion on this ordinance? Any questions, clarification? All right, hearing none, we'll take a vote. All those in favor of approving the final reading of ordinance 4489, please indicate so by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. The ordinance is approved. Our last public hearing, the public hearing and final reading of ordinance 4490. Mr. Mayor, should be published by title and presentation for the record.
Yes, sir. Ordinance 4490 is an ordinance to amend the City of Hartsville official zoning map by rezoning a property on Presswood Drive identified as tax map number 055140103 from R1 residential to B2 business. To present, this is a rezoning to make the properties like zoning to allow for a townhouse development on that property.
Okay. I'll now open the public hearing for ordinance 4490. Mr. Lusk, are you still with us? If you'd like to come forward. Thank you for being here. If you would, into the microphone, state your name and address for the record. Keep your comments to 2 minutes or less.
My name is Matthew Lusk. I live at 912 Presswood Drive. Appreciate the opportunity to speak to the council and to the citizens tonight. First of all, I'd like to say that I'm excited to see the city of Hartsville grow. I'm also excited to see appropriate development within the Presswood neighborhood, which we've lived in for the last approximately 3 years. I'm not opposed to the development of townhomes at this location. I believe that done thoughtfully, this project has the potential to bring significant value to the neighborhood and property owners in the neighborhood. I do have concerns regarding the scope of the development. Specifically, there was already an adjacent lot that's larger, in fact, than the lot in question that was zoned for this type of development. It seems that the additional land, this lot in question, was acquired to maybe facilitate a larger project. Again, I'm not aware of the details. I would like the city to consider the ultimate scale of the development. For example, how many units are being proposed? What type of townhomes are we talking about? What types of amenities are we talking about? What is the anticipated population increase in the immediate area? Can the lot not remain residential and the already approved, appropriately zoned adjacent lot be sufficient? My guess is if the lot had been publicly made for sale, there would have been interested buyers from a residential development perspective. Additionally, I just wanted to make known potential traffic concerns. This end of Presswood Drive is a divided street for approximately 300 feet, meaning that it's one way and you have to kind of turn around. So it's an interesting street in the city of Hartsville. But during peak hours, that intersection of Presswood Drive and Fifth Street, combined with Sunoco Road and Fifth Street, can become somewhat congested. There is a new stoplight at Sunoco Road. So just potential addition, of further residential units could make congestion in this area a bit worse. If the zoning is approved and the development proceeds, what commitments can the city and or the property developer make to ensure that the development aligns with the character and safety of the neighborhood? Are there plans for improvements or mitigations to address traffic flow and ensure public and pedestrian safety? All for progress and development. Just wanted to express here tonight my interest in seeing this done right, and trust that the council and the city will ensure the appropriate decision is made and all the right planning takes place. Thank you for your time.
Well, thank you too for your time and for your very thoughtful consideration of the issue. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Before we move on, I will entertain a motion to approve the final reading of ordinance 44. Oh, I need to close the public hearing. Is there anyone else who'd like to speak on this ordinance? All right, now, the public hearing on ordinance 4490 is now closed. Now I would entertain a motion to approve the final reading of ordinance 4490.
So,
Second.
A motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Any questions about that?
do we have any information that we could use to answer some of Mr. Luff's questions at this moment, Mr. Manager?
Yes.
Especially with how many units may be going there and just a little bit more background.
Absolutely. So the property was purchased with the intent to utilize both portions of it for a townhouse development. I believe the current plan is looking for anywhere between 8 to 12 in 3 to 4 units combined parcels with shared adjoining walls. They will have their own driveways and homes, so it will be single-family residences, but they will be adjoining if they have a shared wall. They will follow all zoning and regulations and ordinances, so we'll make sure there's significant buffering for any type of residential differing between the two uses, as well as following all current zoning laws. So we will be following this project the entire way through and make sure that it adheres to all zoning regulations and in congruence with the neighborhood itself.
And this was reviewed by the planning commission? Did it go before another body?
They came through for a preliminary review of it, and planning commission had nothing but positive things to say about it. Again, making sure that it follows the strict adherence, and it's up to the city, as you're correct, to make sure that we are following those zoning regulations.
All right, and so obviously the recommendation was to.
The recommendation was to move forward.
And there was no zoning board involved unless there's an appeal, right?
It was a rezone request at the planning commission. It was approved recommendation to go forward to council, and here we are now.
Okay. Any other questions?
Mr. Reset.
Yes.
Daniel, would there be any restrictions as far as number of stories and all that good stuff?
Yes, there's restrictions on height, restrictions on the size of it, restrictions on the setbacks, restrictions on the how close it can be to the road. Everything is restricted like that.
And it was rather small.
It is. It's a smaller footprint, allowing for more of a single family style as opposed to being a more multi-family complex.
Ms. Mack.
Yes. So Daniel, will these kind of look like the Hennett Lane townhomes?
I don't believe they had the final renderings of what the elevations will look like. Of course, when we talk about doing elevations, we strive to ensure that they do have character and diversity to the neighborhood, so we're not trying to develop another box type situation. We can certainly make those recommendations when we talk to the developer. We try not to spend their money, but I do. So,
and to be fair, this is just a zoning change. It's not an approval of every step along the way.
The preliminary concept has been presented, not the actual elevations of what's going to look like. And I do recommend, as they go forward, I recommend to the builder to incorporate discussions with the neighbors to talk about what they want to see. It's always a good idea to look left and right to what you're developing.
All right, to that end, though, this doesn't necessarily approve the project. It's just the zoning change makes it an option.
And townhomes will be allowed to it, so there wouldn't be any need to bring it back for council once that happens. But it will go before strict staff review.
Any other questions or comments?
Yes. So now for the business part of it, what was the specifics on the business portion?
There was no business portion of it. It
Okay.
just is being rezoned to the same zoning as the one next to it to allow for the townhome development.
All right.
But they won't conduct business out of the facility.
It would be strictly a single-family townhome development.
Fellas? Anything else over here? I don't want to step on anybody. All right. Well, hearing no more question, we'll take a vote. All those in favor of approving the final reading of ordinance 4490, please indicate so by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Ordinance 4490 passes. Thank you for your thoughtful questions, and thank you, sir, for your comments as well. Well, obviously, there's a long process ahead of us, and we appreciate your concern to make sure it's done right. Moving on to new business, item number 10, resolution 042501. Mr. Manager, if you would.
Yes, sir. It's approval for Hartsville Police Department to enter into a memorandum of understanding with the Federal Drug Enforcement Administration, DEA, for a local task force. This is a new one, so it's not a renewal, but we are excited about the partnerships we developed under Chief Snowgrove and allowing our officers to have some experience working with different federal agencies.
I will entertain a motion to approve resolution 042501.
Mr. Mayor, resolution 042501 is so moved.
Second.
I have a motion in a second. Is there any discussion on this one? All right. Well, hearing none, we'll take a vote. All those in favor of approving resolution 042501, please indicate so by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Resolution passes. Moving on to 11, Mr. Manager, if you would.
Resolution 042502 is a resolution adopting and implementing the 2025 master plan for the city of Hartsville. We have been working on this for quite some time. We've had significant city involvement. I know there's several of you in the audience who participated. We thank you for your contributions. City Council does have before them the full master plan with implementation. Catching
It's contagious.
It's contagious. A plan to act on is going to be at the end of the plan. So I hope everyone will take the opportunity once it's approved. It will be on the city website. We'll be making sure that it's getting out to all the media. We're very excited about this and what it's going to mean for the Hartsville next 10, 20 years.
Thank you. Before
I also want to thank the Bordeaux Group for the work. Irene is here representing the group, and we couldn't have done it without you.
Absolutely. Before I make any comment, I would entertain a motion to approve resolution 042502.
Mr. Mayor, resolution 042502 is so moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. I too want to say thank you to Irene and to your whole group, especially though to the volunteers from the city and the PAC and the focus groups that took time out of your day, usually your evening. I don't often skip meal time if I don't have to, so we really appreciate you stepping forward and serving on those committees to give your feedback and to have discussions about the future of Hartsville and what's best for it. There's a lot of information they took in, but have done a very good job of distilling it into a plan and in a implementation, a means of implementation, perhaps most importantly. So thank you all for your hard work in that process. Oh yeah, anybody who, regardless of why you're here tonight, if you served on one of those bodies as part, or even attended a meeting about the master plan, would you mind standing for recognition? Wow, thank you all so much. When I speak to other elected officials and city professionals around the state, they often mention that they don't have participation like that, like we have here in Hartsville. We're very, very fortunate to have the engagement of the citizens. And you hear me say that often, but I'll say it again tonight. Thank you so much for caring.
Mr. Mayor, I had one comment.
Yes, now I'll be quiet.
Okay. I wanted to thank the group as well. I am very, very glad that the South Hartsville area has been looked at and that this time, we will have and be able to see tangible results because we've seen it on vision boards and scale models and all of that. And so I'm looking forward to being able to lay hands on it and be able to see it and feel it. So thank you all so much for your work. Thank all the citizens that participated. Thank Mayor and Council for all the consideration and City Manager and his staff.
Thank you, Ms. Mack. Any other comment on the plan? It's a doozy. It's good stuff, though. Really no other comment? All right. Well, hearing none, We'll take a vote to approve resolution 04-2502. All those in favor of doing so, please indicate so by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Resolution passes. Master plan is approved. Now, our last item of the public meeting, resolution 04-2503. Mr. Manager, if you would.
Yes, sir. It's approval to apply for a South Carolina Department of Archives and SCDAH grant. This is a continuation of our grant. If you haven't had a chance yet, please go out to Marion Avenue Cemetery off Marion Avenue. That was this, I think, an amazing project we've been working on to restore a historic African American cemetery within Hartsville, and eventually the city will take it into its perpetual care fund. It's the first phase, which was to encapsulate and protect it with an ornate structure around it, as well as a rose garden that's been added to it. The second phase is to identify we estimate up to 300 unmarked graves within that site. And the only way to do that was with ground penetration radar. And so this is for a $35,000 grant. It would be a 50% match to $17,500. We're excited to continue this project to honor the men and women who were buried in that cemetery and to make sure that we can identify and properly identify and work towards it. And I can't say enough that without the help of Johnny Andrews, former council members Johnny Andrews, Adelina Graham, and then also former men and women who've helped and volunteered for many Saturdays to keep it clean, this project wouldn't have made it here. So we're very excited. It's a very small amount, unfortunately. I wish it was more, but it's an exciting project for us.
Awesome. I would entertain a motion to approve resolution 4-2503.
Mr. Mayor, resolution 04-2503 is so moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on this one?
Yes, Daniel, do you know if the monies that citizens raised, has that money been put along with the other monies that we received?
So we had the money from the state was designated strictly for that, and that has been expended up to the point we're finalizing that right now. Any other funds that would be in there would have to be in a restricted fund to use for perpetual care. So I'm not sure exactly if I give you a number of what's been used, but anyone is willing, if they're willing to donate their time or money, we're happy to make sure it gets used in that facility.
Yeah, because we, to get this project actually rolling, citizens themselves raised over $5,000.
Yes, ma'am.
That had family members out there.
Right. And I'm not sure if that was used before this project started. The monies from the state were strictly used for
Right.
the creation of the wall and the rose garden. But we are looking at seeing what we can further protect that area by encapsulating it even further, and then also looking at improvements on the road as well.
Thank you.
Good point. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Anything else from council?
Perpetual care funds going to be combined to manage all three cemeteries?
Yes.
And that would be something that needs to come back to council when you're ready to do that. That will be a resolution, just like we did for the other cemeteries. That would be something that would be presented to y'all on how we would manage that fund.
And currently, the city does budget for maintenance of that cemetery. After this is done, we will have a long road to actually acquire the property because there's a lot of legal work with realtors and lawyers to understand, who owns it. It's been abandoned, and so we're going to have to work through that process. It's going to take some time, but we knew this going in that we were willing to, find out all the information we could to make sure this cemetery will be taken care of properly forever.
And he brings up a good point. Right now, we do already budget annually, and that is something we can look at if we need to adjust that budget with the new groundwork on it. So when we do the budget discussion, you bring up a good point. We can look at that line because we already do budget each year.
That cemetery board is something interesting with perpetual care funds. I'm curious, once we own it, would that mean more costs will be incurred in the future?
Potentially, yeah.
Others going into our other two operating cemeteries.
Right. Well, because we have Magnolia and we have Greenlawn, and Greenlawn also, just a side note, was part of the state's progress. Go out there as well. We've added some lovely things, a new sign out there, routing American flag poles up to each of the sites. We will definitely be looking into it, and once we have all the information we need to move forward, there'll be a lengthy discussion with you guys.
I wanted to reiterate the thanks to Ms. Graham and Mr. Andrews, but also Councilman Gamage, while he was here, did a lot of work on that cemetery. Really, I know Reverend Blue countless other volunteers that have worked out there. The American Legion puts out flags and helps keep it clean. Hartsville High, all of our schools. So it really, it's been a community effort. It's really exciting to see it get to this stage. It looks fantastic, and now to go to the next step of, trying to honor those that are interred there, for the benefit of their families and their honor is really exciting. And as you alluded or said, the state has funded much of the work we've done already. So I really appreciate the support of former Senator Lloyd, but also the ongoing support with this request from our current delegation. It's a significant project, but for the second time, I'll be quiet.
Okay.
You're welcome. All right. Well, hearing no other comment, I will let's take a vote to approve the resolution 04-2503. Thank you. All those in favor, please indicate so by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Resolution passes. Now, that brings us to the last item of the public meeting. I would entertain a motion to enter executive session pursuant to SC Code FOIA Section 3470A2 for discussion of negotiations incident to propose contractual arrangements for the transfer of property.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor, please indicate so by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Ladies and gentlemen, we now stand in executive session. Thank you all for coming. We'll take a quick 5-minute little break.